Greetings everyone, Road Contractor here. So actually this is the second attempt on a video that I started last night, and I kept saying coronavirus diet and I definitely want to say carnivore diet. So I'm going to focus on carnivore diet tonight. I had to delete that video because it just wasn't going to work. So anyway, I got a new mic, and I hope that the sound quality is a lot better. It definitely sounded better on the last video, but like I said, it was a carnivore diet, a coronavirus diet. So I'm just getting too mixed up, and I was really tired last night. I'm still a little bit tired from my return. So now this is my first video since I'm back at my main camp from being downrange. I was downrange for, this time I was downrange for over 30 days, which ended up being a little bit of an extended stay. Normally don't do extended stays like that. That just kind of turned out with the way things were working out with the team, and with me being there and doing what I needed to do and waiting on them to get back and leave and get back and leave, and it turned into an ordeal. So I hope that I can sort of get back into the flow of things, because I feel a little bit like I got to get comfortable again. I was getting really comfortable before in front of the camera and talking, and started to feel like I could just talk and say anything, and I didn't really stop and think about my words before I said them, because I don't really plan these out. Like, I don't have anything written down. There's a couple of times where I did write some things down because I was going over some statistics and stuff, but other than that, I just sort of talk off the top of my head, and I kind of want to get back into that. That's a better way to go, on these videos, and when I'm definitely doing my talks. But anyway, I'm back at DJ now, back from downrange, and I stuck with the carnivore diet the entire time that I was downrange. So there was a couple of days, and I mentioned them in some past videos, even while I was downrange, if you got a chance to look at those, where I talked about I did have some carbs, and I can think of 2 days where I kind of loaded up on carbs and probably some sugars too. And that was definitely Thanksgiving. It was a big dinner. That was a very big meal. You got a plane coming in again. There he goes. Okay, so we had loaded up on carbs on Thanksgiving, and then prior to that I had one other day where we had a steak night. Every Saturday is steak, but they also served macaroni and cheese. And on one of those weekends that I was down there, I was, I caved. I wasn't able to keep my strength up to resist all the carbs that they had out. But the rest of the time, it definitely was all meat. I'm not doing any side-by-side videos anymore, because the way I was before and the way I am now is really not a lot of difference. I did put on some weight. I don't know if it's really noticeable from the waist up, where you can see me now, like definitely in the chin or neck or anything. I didn't gain any weight there like I normally do, and I didn't gain any weight around the waist. But I went up from the 175 area, maybe 173 to 175, because I was below 175 and really struggling to try and keep my weight up here at this camp, being the way things were and the food choices. But I was really struggling to keep up with the keep it at 175. Well, down there you can eat very good, and I was able to get not only past 175, I was able to get to that 179. So I came in weighing at 179, and I've maintained that high 170s, 177 to 179. I haven't breached the 180 yet. That's my goal. I want to put on weight, but I don't want to put on fat weight. I want to put on lean weight, and that's what I'm trying to do. So I gotta take in more calories, and I still do the calorie deficit in the mornings, because that's the biggest thing to keep a lean physique. Calorie deficit in the morning, and you do that. I do that by eating a simple breakfast, a very small, just a regular oatmeal, one oatmeal packet, throw it in there. It's got some sugars and it's got some carbs, but they're very low. They're not high. So I'm like 34 grams of sugar, and I believe it was like 12 grams or 12%. It might have been 12 grams of carbs. So I'm well within my carb level, and I'm borderline hitting that sugar level. So I just you can get up to like 37 grams of sugar per day and still be okay. And I haven't put on any excess weight that I didn't want to put on. You know, I wanted to put on some weight. I did put on some weight, and I was still working out every day down there while I was downrange. And I don't think I put on like muscle, but I put on, and I didn't put on fat. I guess it would be muscle, but I didn't put on like bad weight. You know, I'll just say that I didn't put on bad weight, and I put on probably 4 to 5 pounds maybe of extra weight, extra lean weight, you know, which is what I want to do. That's what I want to accomplish. Eventually what I want to do is I want to break that 180 threshold. I want to pass over from 180, get into that 185, but remain lean. You know, I want to keep a lean waist line. You know, I don't want to put on too much weight around my waist, and I definitely want to keep my abs. I was worried about losing those, but didn't lose any of that. And also maybe put on a bit more on my shoulders and my arms, you know. And I definitely feel like, you know, if you look at my face between now, this video, and like say the first few videos where I was much leaner, you know, you could tell I needed to get more calories in. Yesterday, my first full day here, what I did is I came into the office, and instead of eating an oatmeal, I went straight to my protein shake, which is I can never remember the name of it. Yesterday I came in and I supplemented my breakfast with a muscle milk shake, a protein shake, and the difference is that I got the powder here, and downrange I was getting the bottles. So the bottles, and I didn't know this until I looked at it, the bottles are lower in calories, way lower in carbs, and way lower in sugars. The powder is higher in calories. It's much higher, and it's also very high in carbs. It's very high in sugars. So one of the issues that I was facing downrange was that I had a lot more availability to alcohol, and I drank quite a bit more, I would say. I still stuck to the calorie deficit in the mornings, and I still did my 6 hours in between each meal for the most part. There were days where that wasn't really able, you know, wasn't able to reach that 6 hours, or maybe I went over 6 hours even. And that was just based on, you know, circumstances, mission requirements, what I was doing at the time, you know, and it just kind of dictated my meals, you know. So, and then there was a lot of days, there was a lot of downtime down there too, so I was able to get back on track. But I stuck to that primary carnivore diet, high protein, and also calorie deficit in the morning to start my day off, and 6 hours in between each meal. For the most part, I would say there was probably a handful of times where I didn't reach the 6 hours, and I always had the calorie deficit. That wasn't the problem. The problem was trying to go that 6 hours, you know, and I wouldn't be able to, if I missed this meal, you know, I wouldn't be able to eat for the next 6 hours. It would be 12 hours, so that's too far. So I'd go ahead and eat, you know, and then within that 6 hour time frame between lunch and supper, you know, I'd eat again, you know. But then at night I was drinking probably every night, and I was definitely having more than 2 drinks, like I do here. You know, here you can only get 2 drinks, so there's not really an issue with the drink. The issue here is with the food, and not enough calories, and probably too many carbs if you don't watch what you eat. Because even though you can get meats and you can stick to a meat diet, there's going to be gravy, there's going to be, on the meat, there's going to be gravy, there's going to be glaze, there's going to be additives, you know. Sometimes you get processed meat, you know. So I kind of watch what I eat. I Google a lot. Everything that I eat, I come back here, I write it down, I look it up, I see what the calories were, you know, I estimate the portions, I estimate the amount of extra stuff that they have on there, like gravy, you know, and it might be only a 2-3 teaspoons worth of gravy on meat. Like, for instance, tonight I had Salisbury steak. I had 2 Salisbury steaks, which is, you know, pure lean meat, and but there was some gravy on it, so it definitely got some carbs there, but it was very low on gravy. There's very little gravy on that, and I didn't add any ketchup or anything like that. I just ate the meat, and I also had some shrimp. So Salisbury steak and shrimp, kind of weird, but You know, it was all meat. You know, so I got my omegas, loaded up on some omegas, and loaded up on a lot of protein. Definitely with the Salisbury. So beyond that, you know, it was a good trip. It was a good little deployment there. You know, that I spend most of my time here just to go over kind of what I do. So I'll talk about what I do. I'm a subject matter expert for a remote weapon system. That's what I do. And I go down and I provide training and maintenance on those systems. So if they have questions, or if there's a team that's in that they might be kind of new, they might require some training, some additional training, because they didn't get enough back in the States. I can give them more training here. And plus, like, we'll get training actually on the trucks, on the vehicles, and we'll be able to go out to the range. We'll be able to fire those weapons. We'll be able to, you know, get more in depth with it, and I can answer any questions. I'm there on the spot. Like, if anything goes wrong, you know, hey, we had something go wrong, I can fix it on the spot. You know, if I got the parts, if it doesn't require a part, you know, I can tell them, hey, this is operator error type issue. And I can also provide like training, you know, for them on how to use the system, and also like common problems that they might run into, you know, during their missions, you know. So and it's fun. It's a great job. You know, I have definitely a lot more downtime than I do work time. If you compare my work time to my downtime, it's a huge difference. I can spend months here where we have nothing to work on. There are no systems here. There are no teams here. Nothing is here at this camp where I'm at right now. And I'm in Djibouti. This is Google. You can Google this. I'm in Djibouti. I'm at Camp Lemonade. But downrange is in another country. And then there's even another country beyond that I go to, which is where I was. And I go down there and I can get more in depth, you know, and I can do some work. But the work really, honestly, is only a few days compared to the amount of time that I spend here. Like right now I'm back, I might be here a week and I get called out and get sent back down, or I might be here for 3 months and get called out and sent back down, you know. So I'm thinking this time around I'm probably going to be here for a few months before I go back. So I got time to do some videos. So going back to the carnivore diet and the differences right now, not a lot of changes in that. I don't see physical changes, you know, other than I have put on some good weight. I attribute the fact that I didn't put on too much weight, because when you drink a lot, your triglycerides go through the roof, and when they go up, any sugars that you have, like if you have a glass of tea that's loaded with sugars, a glass of sweet tea, for instance, all those sugars will just go, because your triglycerides are so high. It doesn't need any sugars, it doesn't need any carbohydrates, so it's just going to store that away in fat. I was a little bit worried about that, because some of the foods that I was eating, you know, even though I was eating meats mostly, still getting some carbs, I was still getting some sugars in there, you know, because of the ingredients that they put on those foods. And I was a little bit worried that I might be, you know, maybe putting too much weight on that I don't want, the fat weight. But it turned out it wasn't. I'm still lean. I still have my six-pack, and haven't lost that. But as far as like trying to burn off that last layer of belly fat, that was not going to happen downrange. Maybe if I focused a little bit more on trying to go more towards, you know, the deli meats and steaks and stuff like that, you know, then I probably could have burnt off that. But it's much harder because, you know, I'm busier doing stuff. I might be called out in the middle of the night. I might be called out during the middle of the day, you know, and I just got to kind of, you know, watch how much I'm eating it's not protein, you know, and keep working out. Be sure that I get out there every single day. And that's what I do. I will go out every day. I'm going to get a lot of cardio, which I've cut back on, because one of the things that I was running into, I like to do big runs. I like to do long runs. I like to do 1 hour runs. For me, when I run, that's my chi. That's my chi time. That's when I can reflect and meditate. You know, I know a lot of people like to sit there and do their yoga, and that's great. I believe in yoga. It's still something I would like to try. I haven't tried yet. But for me, you know, my time, like my chi time, my chi time is running. And if I get in a longer run, then, you know, even better. The only problem with that is that I will tend to burn off too many calories, because, you know, those are 6-mile runs in an hour, 6+ miles. And if I do that 2 to 3 times a week like I was, I'm burning a lot of calories, you know, and I'm not taking in near enough. So I had to come up off that. I haven't done any 1-hour runs since I was downrange. I did 1, maybe 2 when I was downrange. The rest of the time it was either 30 minutes or 15 minutes, and that's what I like to stick to. I did a 15 or a 30-minute run yesterday. Today I did a 10-minute run along with my workout. I'm going to kind of try to stick to that. I don't want to go too much into cardio. And I think what I'm going to stick to mostly now from this point going forward will be the 10, 15, or 30-minute runs. And then follow that up with calisthenics. So I'll be doing my lunges, my air squats, push-ups, dips, and then I'll be hitting the weight room. And then there'll be days where I might skip the calisthenics. You know, I'll just do a 10 to 15-minute run and then go into the gym and then do a heavy workout. And I actually did a heavy workout today. Today was a 10-minute run, calisthenics, and a pretty good session in the gym. So I like to do 10 sets of 10 on everything that I do. So I get 100 reps, whether it's curls or triceps, and I did a full upper body workout. I don't do a lot of legs nowadays because of my knees. I'm really worried about messing them up. I've had knee issues in the past where they've hurt and I wasn't able to get out and do the running like I like to do. So I lay off of like putting weights on, holding the weights in the front or doing the back and just doing regular squats. You know, I don't do any of those. I don't do leg presses anymore on the machine because I'm worried about messing up my knee. I need to find that good weight where I can not do too much, but not do too light, you know, and not mess my knee up in the process, you know. Because when that knee goes bad, like the last time I flew down range like that far, I took a long trip down. This is back in January and February. There was a lot of issues going on down there. And I went down there with a lot of people in our flight. And we don't fly on like regular commercial or nothing like that. They're all cargo planes. So you're sitting in this netting and you're squished in between a bunch of people all around you, you know, and they're all soldiers and they all have their gear on and everything. And of course my knees are like up in my chest, you know, so I'm like sitting there for 5 hours on this flight they're flying really slow just to save fuel. And get down there, and you know, when I get off the plane, you know, I stretch out a little bit, but my knee is all messed up. Well, I come back here, you know, about a week or so later, and then my knee starts really hurting, and then I go 2 months before I heal up enough to where I can get out and run again because my knee is so bad. And now I'm getting problems in kind of both knees, you know, so need to kind of watch that. But these flights here are a little bit better because they're not we are able to fly on some passenger flights, you know, they have different flights for us, so we're able to sit in seats, and that helps a lot, you know, but it still takes several hours to get down there and back. So, but I feel good on this trip coming back because I was able to maintain my knees and still do my workouts and, you know, sort of, you know, keep everything working for me, you know, so. Not a lot to put out right now. You know, I still really need to think about, you know, how I want to do these videos and how I want to keep talking, you know, about what it is I'm doing as far as my diet, my exercise, and, you know, go over that. And I'm going to have to get back into that comfort zone that I was in before I left. You know, it's taken me a little while. It took me a little while to get there. And then, you know, I go downrange and, you know, kind of lose it all because I was down there for so long, you know, and I don't know if that's the way it's going to be from now on. It seemed like the past couple of times have been pretty long deployments. This one was a little bit long, so hopefully in the future I'll get back to those, you know, get down, do what I got to do, get the hell out of there and come back here and then, you know, kind of relax here for a month and then go back again, you know. We'll see. But I'm going to keep doing these videos. So getting back on the carnivore diet and the exercises, mentally on the protein diet. I'm well over 30 days on this carnivore diet. And I actually do feel good. I do feel good. I still feel very positive. I think I attribute a lot of that to just the exercise in general. And the meat, you can eat. What I've been researching and finding online, and watching other people that are doing these carnivore diets, is that you can almost eat as much as you want. Each meal you can just load up if you want to, as long as it's going to be all protein. And on the days where it really is just meat and there's not a lot of extra stuff, there's not a lot of extra gravy, there's not a lot of extra seasonings or spices or glaze or anything that's on the meat, I'm just getting pure meat, I can really load up. I can fill up, I'm gonna burn that off, because of the fact that, like I start off each day with a calorie deficit. Going 6 hours, I'm hitting that lunch, I'm burning calories even though I'm not working out, being awake, being alive, being walking around, or just being alert, breathing, doing my normal thing. You're burning calories throughout the day, and then hit that 6 hour mark, and then eat lunch, and then hit the next 6 hour mark and eat dinner. So I'm able to keep my physique the way I want it, and I want to get better. And here I can get better. I can do much more here, I think, as far as like exercising, because I got more time, and also like watching what I eat, and I've cut out the tea completely, almost. I do have tea in here late in the afternoons, but for my dinners, I'm just sticking with water, because there's 0 calories in that. And that's, I think, helped quite a bit. And even since I've been back now for probably 3 days, and I got down like to 177, and I thought, oh, well, I need to, load up a little bit. So I went to the DFAC and here at the galley, and I ate pretty good meals. So, really kind of added some extra calories, to my diet, so that way I can maintain a full form, Like I said before, I was downrange at one time, and this is early on, and even before I was doing the carnivore diet. I was talking to my wife, and I had the phone up, and I was talking to her, and I was like, check out my room, I'm showing her around, I'm looking at myself, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm looking at me in the video, and I can't believe what I'm seeing. I can't believe how sunken my face was, and how my neck was just like completely just like so shrunken. I lost so much weight in my upper body. And at that time, I was really losing weight around my waist, which is what I was focusing on, like where my abs are really popping out, my waist is getting very lean, and I was focusing on that, and I wasn't realizing that the rest of my body was losing weight first. That was the last place I was losing weight. So, but I did that. That's over. I got that past me. So now I can focus on, trying to bulk up with proteins, more proteins, way more protein, and getting the good calories that my body's not going to want to store away. It's going to want to use. It's going to want to use those for energy. It's going to want to put those in muscle, and then I don't have to worry too much about losing too much weight, at this point. And if you look at my pictures in past videos that I did, where I did some side-by-sides, and I showed where I was like 215 plus, it was good to lose that weight. It's good to come up off that. And I was that way all the way up going into 2020. I was much leaner than I was back in 2016, 2017, but I was still heavy in the middle, and I just didn't know how. I wrote it off to like genetics. I was like, this is just the way it is. I can lose some weight and I can get myself down to like 195, but that's going to be about it. Because just genetically I'm not built that way. And it turned out that once I got forced into a particular way to eat and a particular diet to be on, then I started to see, and then I started to research. That piqued my interest, because I was like, something's happening. And when I was in quarantine, we was only getting 3 meals per day, and those meals were spaced way out, probably even beyond 6 hours. And I lost weight very fast. And I'm gonna say right now, if you do the calorie deficit in the mornings and you stick to the 6 hours in between each meal, the amount of weight you'll lose very fast within the first month is phenomenal. It was phenomenal. I was impressed with the way that I had lost weight. And now the abs, I'd say I do a lot of ab work. I've been doing ab workouts for for years now, and I think I already had that core, that good solid core, but it was under so much fat you couldn't see anything. And once I lost all that fat, then everything started to come out, and started to see it. And when you can see the results of your work, and especially during this whole lockdown when, you know, there were no flights and I got stuck downrange for 3 months, you know, and I was just really on the abs, really on the abs. You know, every workout I ended with abs, and even still today, right now, I end every workout with an ab workout, a solid, good ab workout, and I use 2 different apps. Right now, I'm kind of focused on one, and I've put those in some of my remarks on Facebook, but I'll put those out again, the ones that I use, and I'll get those. I don't have them on me right now, but I'll get those and put those out again, show you the ones that I use, and my favorite one that I use. And basically what it is you've got a lot of different workouts to choose from, but on the ab part of it, they do, I think it's 6 different workouts, and you can choose anywhere from, you know, 6 to 7 or 8 workouts with 30-second rest in between each workout, or up to a minute between each workout. And I do those, and I've gotten to the point now where I can just knock them out. I do sets of 20 on abs. So like I'll do a set of abs, you know, I might do crunches, you know, followed up with some leg lifts, you know, followed up with some bicycle, you know, or some Russian twist, you know, and I'll do 20 each side, you know, or I'll do 20 bicycles, 20 claps. So I'll bring my knee up to my chest and clap between my leg, you know, so like this. You know, so I'll bring my leg up and clap, bring my leg up and clap, bring my leg up and clap, and I do 20 on each one. Those get pretty tough. You know, leg lifts are sort of like when you're laying on your back, you bring both legs up like that. So I do 20 of those. And then I'll follow that up again. And in between each workout, I'm doing 30-second weights. So I do a workout and I wait 30 seconds. And it's all timed. It's all on that app. You just follow that app. I don't even do the workouts that they suggest anymore. So they got a list. You can follow those, and that's how I started off. But now I've gotten so evolved that I just sort of go with what I want to go with, what I feel like doing. You know, so like I'm not going to do, you know, I'm not going to grab the cable machine and do pulls. You know, I'll just, you know, I feel like doing crunches. So I'm going to knock out 20 crunches. I'll rest 30 seconds, do 20 more crunches, rest 30 seconds, do 20 more crunches, you know, and then, and believe me, like and one of them, as a matter of fact, one of those workouts is 4 workouts, 30-second rest in between each one. And each workout is actually 2 workouts combined. So you're doing 8 workouts. So you start off doing crunches, follow it up with bicycle, do crunches, follow it up with bicycle, do crunches, follow it with bicycle. I do a lot of planks. I love doing planks. I do planks all the time. I think every single workout just about it involves a plank, you know. So I'll do like a 1-minute plank, 30-second rest, do a 1-minute plank, 30-second rest, do a 1-minute plank, 30-second rest. I'm doing 2 to 3 planks in the middle of all that. And it's how I've really developed my abs. Now, once I burnt off all that fat, there they were. Boom, they were just there for me. And believe me, when you start seeing that result in the mirror and you're looking at yourself and you're like, I can't, this is happening, you know. I was astounded, you know, and I was astounded by when I was on quarantine here after I got back from one of my missions downrange, and I came back and I got stuck in quarantine. And that's where I really started losing weight, and that's where I really started noticing the bathroom. I'd be brushing my teeth and I'd be like, oh shit, I'm fucking losing weight, you know. I didn't have a scale, I couldn't weigh myself, so I didn't know how much weight I was losing, but I could see it. And I could see the abs starting to come out. So I decided, you know, I'm gonna stick with this. You know, I talked about all the food I was gonna eat when I got out of quarantine, but then I thought, no, let me keep doing this. You know, let me keep this up and just see how far I can go with it. And they came in a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and within a month they were there. And then after that, it was just like, well, how much do I want to lose? Do I want to like really get down to like, see if I can get down to like 0% body fat? That's tougher to do in a place like this. I think if I was back home and I had the diet and the gym and the foods that I wanted to eat, you know, I could focus on that. I could easily do that. And I could do it doing my diet, eating the right foods, you know, and cutting out all the sugars and completely all the carbs, because you're never going to stop your body from just putting some of those carbs and some of those sugars to body fat. It's going to want to store some of that away because it can't use all of it, you know. But if you cut it way down, eventually it gets to the point where it can't use all of it, and then it will you'll get yourself down to that, you know, single digit body fat. I don't think I'm in single digits yet. I wouldn't say. I'm close. I would say I'm close. I'm in the teens, but I'm not single digit, and I would love to be single digit, you know. And maybe I can do that. You know, I'm gonna be here for a little bit, so I'll focus on my foods and my exercise, and probably should cut out, you know, going over there and even getting the 2 drinks at night, you know, cut that out, you know, maybe just do that for a month, you know. I think that'll be my next thing, is just like completely cut out sugars, see what the results are on that, completely shut out the carbs, and see what the results are on, do that for a month, you know, and see what happens, you know. How do I feel mentally? How do I feel physically? You know, do I look better? Do I feel better? I can say that I'm well beyond 30 days on this carnivore diet. And I do feel better. I feel like I look better because of the fact that I was able to put more weight back on. You know, that getting down to like 170, you know, wasn't a good look. 169 even. That really it wasn't working for me, and it didn't look good, especially at my age. You know, I'm 48. You know, do I really want to go around looking like, you know, aged beyond my years? You know, and I felt like that's what it did. It made me look aged. You know, too aged and too thin, too frail, and it wasn't something that I was going for. But I didn't realize it at the time. You know, it took me a little while. It took me looking in the camera at myself and noticing that before I realized I probably need to eat more calories. You know, I need to take in more calories. You know, but it's something I'll work on. So I think future videos from this point on will be, one, I'll definitely do a side by side after 3 months of being on a carnivore diet, and I think starting I'll stick to basically the way I'm eating now. I won't change much, you know. I'm gonna get some carbs, that's fine. I'm gonna get some sugars, you know. But what I think I will get into is maybe in January do a complete month where it is pure protein. I know it's hard to do, and I even said when I first started this whole thing, when I laid off carbs completely that whole day, just one day, the very first day, no carbs and no sugars, and it drained me so bad. I was dragging my butt to the bed, and I was sleeping. I could barely get out of bed the next morning, and I was like, oh, I can't do that. You know, I'm a carb junkie. And I even did a video called Carb Junkie, and how I needed carbs, you know. And I think the body does need some carbs, but I think you can wean yourself off of those carbs, because I've gone my whole life just eating that way and being that way, and I think I'd like to get off of that. So I'm getting to the point now where I'm very close to it. So come January, I should be able to be like completely carb free, completely sugar free, and I can focus on eating just very lean meats. I can go in there and I can just get those chickens and the deli slices, and you know, just I gotta watch the calories, and I gotta watch the cardio, because cardio burns too much calories too fast. So I don't want to keep doing that, and I don't want to take away so many calories that I go back to being at 170 again. I got a scale in here that I can weigh myself on, and I can keep track of that, you know, and I will. And hopefully, if everything works out, you know, I'll focus more on the weights and see if I can bulk up in some, you know, muscle mass and muscle weight versus, you know, fat weight or fat loss, you know. And anyway, so thank you for watching. If you made it this far, you know, I thank everybody for supporting me and for being there, for listening. And I hope you're getting something out of this and you're trying it yourself. And believe me, you know, at 40 plus, you know, I never thought that I was going to lose anymore. I never thought I was going to get back into shape, especially the way I was in my 30s. You know, in my mid 30s, I was in terrific shape, and I don't feel like I'm really there yet, because I was able to lift more, go harder, be stronger, and maybe just because I'm pushing 50 now. You know, so within 18 months, I'm going to be 50 years old. So, and I'm not even trying to get heavy weights or get bulked up or be masculine, you know, huge. I'm not going to do that, and I just don't feel like that would even be healthy for me at this age. But I think I can burn off definitely a lot more fat and get into very, very close shape with an even tighter physique than I had when I was in my 30s. You know, now I can see that I can do that, and I plan on doing that. So thank you, everyone. Appreciate all the support. You know, stay positive, stay healthy, stay fit, as I always say, and good luck with your workout. Anyway, Road Contractor out. Have a good day. Bye.